Hello everyone, my name is Santank Hunter. Welcome to the Akami Squadron channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a tag menu. These are super useful for if you're trying to integrate some sort of prefix, suffix, or just tag system, as it is stated, into your own Minecraft server for your players to have a little bit more customization or maybe some paid features for cosmetics. So before we start, I'm going to explain exactly what it is and what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using the tab plugin, which is what I am using to show prefixes, suffixes, and things below players' names. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding an above name to a player. So if we do tab player command panels and we do above name and we just type something. Now, as you can see, he has hello above his name. So for my system, the tags are going to be on their head using the tab plugin. After I get it all set up, you can easily change it to work with any of your plugins you are using. It'll just be as simple as changing the commands that it runs. But this is just a little example on exactly what it'll look like. But let's get on in. So I'm going to be showing two different ways this can be done. One of them is going to be where players have to, say, purchase something off of your store to then get access to it, or win it from a crate and then you get access to the tag. The other way I'm going to be showing is if they have enough money, they can buy the tag and then they unlock it, which allows them to equip it at any time. So I'm just going to start creating a mini panel for choosing if you want the paid ones or the not so paid ones. So we'll just do that. I'm going to do one that's a diamond and one that's a piece of paper. Just like that. Now I'm going to do /cpg. There you go. Panel was created. So once you edit it, it'll have just these items in it. Do CP panel 2. You can see it has all the items. Nothing's really changed. So now I'm going to actually go edit the panel. So inside the YML, I'm actually going to change these. So we're going to do tag menu. Just like that. So those are different. I'm going to add commands of tags and tag. So if you do /tags or /tag, it'll come up with this menu. If we find our diamond, I'm going to write paid tags. And then this one's going to be in-game tags. Just like that. And all I'm going to add is a command for opening a menu. This one's just going to be called paid tags. Oh, forgot commands. Then this one's just going to be free tags because easier to remember. So now we have the basics of this little tag menu to differentiate between the two. Now, back in game, I'm going to create a tiny new one. This will just be a quick example layout. So we're just going to do the same thing as last time. Take out the middle ones. This will be where all our tags are. In the bottom left and right, I'm going to have arrows for next page and not next page, that kind of thing. And then right up in the middle, I'm going to make that a redstone block. So once you click that, that'll clear your tag, and then the rest will equip or change your tag. The arrows and the stick are for last and next page, that sort of thing. So this layout will probably be used for both panels. So CPG, there we go, generates panel. We'll do it again. So now we got two panels. So I'm just going to rename these. That was misspelled, but I'm going to leave it. Okay, so we have the tags menu, tag paid, tag free. So we're going to go into the paid ones, since this one won't require as much information. So we're going to change this to paid tags. this is going to be clear tags. For the command, I'm going to do tab player and then the player name. And then above name, which will just clear whatever they have. Make sure that has console, so it runs it in console. So we have the clear tag that'll work. Next, we have a stick for last page, but this is actually not needed for this panel since there is not going to be a next page. So for this, since this isn't a second page, it's not going to have one. So I'm just going to change it so that it's back to that. And the arrow, I'm just going to put next page, even though it's not going to do anything. So that's there. Now, in game, I'm going to create a tag item that will come up with the tag, just so we have it. So now, if we're back in game, we'll grab a name tag. I have essentials on here, so I can do /item name. So that'll be our first tag, which is just going to be hello world. So now I'm going to do CPE, actually CPR first, then CP, and we're going to go to paid tags. I'm going to put the tag in the menu just so it's there and it sets up the name for us. Now when we're back in game, now that we're back in the YML, you can see it has name tag with the tag hello world. I'm going to actually put some hyphens on this just so I can actually edit this, make it look good. So now that we have a tag and we want this tag to be a paid tag, we're not going to allow the player to buy anything. So first we're going to use a has perm. This will check if they have the perm for this. So I use tag dot whatever the tag's called. So I'll do hello world. So it's going to check if they have that perm. If they do, it's just going to show the hello world again for the name. And then for the lore, I'm going to add owned so that they know they have it. And I'm also going to add a click to equip. Just like that. So that they know they can equip it. Up here, I'm just going to add a lore that says they don't own it. Just like that. So now we have it so it checks if they have the perms for this. If you guys don't know exactly how to use has perms or any of the has sections, I have a video. I will link it in the card really quick so you guys can go watch that if you need to. These ones are pretty simple, so you shouldn't need to. You can probably just follow along with me. But now that we have that, we need to make it so they actually can equip this tag. So for this, I am going to run the console equals tab, and we're going to do player name, above name, and then I'm going to put the tag. So hello world, just like that. So this will now set the player's tag above their name. And then for this panel, I want it so that it tells them if it's equipped or not. So to do this, we are going to use data. I just recently made a video on this. I will also link that above in a card. If you would like to watch that, it'll also be in the description. But it teaches you how to use placeholders and data to set this kind of stuff. So we're going to do set data equals, and we're going to do tag is what the value is going to be, or the name of the data set. And I'm just going to call it hello world as the value. So command panels is going to set the tag data value, which is a tag placeholder, to equal this. And then what we can do is we can use a has value to check if that placeholder equals hello world. If it does, we can display information saying that this is equipped and not allow them to equip it again. So inside of the has perm, since we are checking if they have the perm, if they do, we want to check if it's equipped. So we're going to do has value. We're going to compare to the data placeholder of CP data tag, just like that. Then we're going to do the value as hello world, just like that. So now we're going to do the name as usual, the same exact thing. We're going to add the same lore, except for change the owned part to equipped, just like that. I think that's how you spell it. If it's not, whatever. I'll just get rid of one Q. There we go. So it says it's equipped. Get rid of that line so you cannot equip it again. So this tag is completely set up. If they don't have the permission, it'll say that they don't own it and they can't run any commands. If they do own it, it'll show that they can equip it. Once they click, it'll actually start to equip, which will just set the tag and then set the tag placeholder for the data so that we know it is equipped. And then if you have panel refresh on, or you force refresh it by adding dash refresh right below the last command, it'll refresh the panel and then show it is currently equipped. So before we go back in game to test this, I am going to also add a del data to this, and it's just going to delete the data of tag. So when they click to clear tags, it'll then change this tag. You can also just use set data and then set the tag data to just clear. But for this, I'm just going to completely delete it so it's not there. So that's the first tag set up. Now if we go back in game, /CPR as always. And now if we do /tags, it'll come up with the menu. If we click paid tags, oh, it says could not load material. I believe I forgot a material for every single one of those. So as usual, I forgot to add a material. So all we're going to do is copy and paste the material into each one, just like that. Good enough. Now if we go back in game and try again, /CPR. Now if we do /tags and click on it, you'll see it's now here. So it says we own it because I'm opt. So now if we click to equip, it'll say it's now equipped. So if I swap over to my alt right here as command panels real quick and set the data, you can now see it is equipped. It says hello world right above his name. And then if we go back and we clear the tags of ourself, it'll then clear the tag and it says this one is not equipped anymore. So that works perfectly exactly how we want it. If you want to add more, you just continue adding them and copying and pasting the one you created, change all the data, blibbity blah. Then you can just add a next page, which will just go to another panel, that kind of thing. So that's the basics of making a paid tag. Now we're going to move on to being able to buy tags in game. It's almost the same setup, just slightly different. There'll be a second has perm and a has greater in there. So for this, I'm going to be using an economy, which is essentials for me. You have to have Vault and an economy installed. Once you have that, you'll be able to use it. And then for perms, I'm going to be using Luckperms just because it's super simple, easy to use, and I know it very well. So now that we're back here, if we go tags free, change this to free tags, blibbity blah, and we do free tags. And add all this data back, clear tags. I'm just going to copy and paste all of the commands from this one over to this one. Stick doesn't matter. I will just leave that. Arrow I'll leave as well. So now I am going to copy this item into this file. Just like that. So instead of hello world, we're going to just do cat. That's why not, super simple. So same thing, it is going to say if they don't have it, it'll just say not owned. So this is actually going to be classified as the fallback item for this example, since I'm going to be using two has perms, one for true and one for false. This will only show up if any of those goes wrong. So most of the time I will change the name to something went wrong and the lore to this is not good or something like that, and maybe change the material to a red wool. But I'm not going to change any of that for this example. I am now just going to create a second Hasperm. So we want it so if they don't have the perm, it'll show all the data. So we're going to make the perm as tag.cat. Then we're going to add an output of false. What this is doing is checking if this permission is false for the player. If it is, it'll then show this data. Why do you keep tabbing all the way back here? Whatever. So we will change the name to the cat tag material to name tag so I don't forget it this time. And we'll change the lore to be the not owned lore. Just like that. So this item is now set for if they do not have permission, it'll then show this item right here rather than this top item. Next, I'm going to add another lore line and I'm going to say cost is 1,000. So the player will need $1,000 to buy this tag. Once they do, they will own it. So for this example, I'm going to be using a has grader using the CP player balance placeholder. This will check what the player's balance is and then return it to me. So I can check if they have more than $1,000. If they do, I can show an item so that something changes to let them know that they can buy it. That might sound a little confusing, but once you do it, it's pretty simple. So you do a has grader, you compare to the placeholder. So CP player balance. Value of 1,000. Gonna do the name as the cat thing again. Make the lore say not owned. And then I'm gonna say cost 1,000. And I'm going to say you have enough money to purchase this tag. Just so they know that they do have enough and they can purchase. So to repeat, we have a has grader inside of the Hasperm that is set to false. So if they do not have the tag already, it'll then check if their balance is more than 1,000 or the same as 1,000. If it is, it'll then allow them to buy this after showing this item. So let's add a material so I don't forget it again. Name tag, and we're going to now add commands. So I'm going to be using a paywall. What this does is it'll check if they have more than 1,000 or less than 1,000. If they have more, it'll take away the 1,000 and run the commands below this paywall. If they don't, it'll just say they do not have enough funds, but since we're using the has grader, this will always purchase. So just think of it as taking money. So I'm going to do the paywall of 1,000. Then we're going to run the console command of Luckperms. So we're going to do LP user player name permission set tag.cat to true. So that'll purchase the tag for them and give them the permission they need. Now, the only difference for this entire setup at the bottom is to change all this stuff to the cat, just like that. But if you would like to make this easier to read, you can add an output of true. But this isn't needed inside of this due to the fact that if it's not here, it'll check if it's true anyways. So to repeat the entire item, you have your fallback item that'll only show if both of these fail, which it should never. But the Hasperm 0 is going to check if they do not have the perm of tag.cat. If they don't, show this item, say that it's not owned. If they don't have 1,000, it'll stay on this item. If they have more than 1,000 or 1,000, it'll then show this item, which will say they have enough money to purchase the tag. If they click on it, it'll then take the money and then give them the permission. Once that permission is given, if you have panel refresh on, or as I said before, you force it by adding dash refresh, it'll then come up with this has perm. Since they now have the perm, it'll show this current item. When they click, it'll then set the tag. It'll change the data tag to cat. And then if you have panel refresh or refresh, as I said, it'll then show the equipped item. So that is the basics of using a tag menu. If we go back in game and test now, this should work completely fine. So CPR, now if we do /tags, we go to in-game tags, you'll now see it says cat. It says I already own it because I'm opt. I will unopt myself and then make it so it'll show it's not owned. But for this example, I'm just going to click it, just so it shows equipped. So that works. Clearing the tag shows that it's not. So now if I de-opt myself, interesting. And then we go to tags. Now you'll see I don't have it anymore, and it costs 1,000. I do not have 1,000 in my inventory, so it does not say that I have enough money to purchase this. So now I'm going to have to give myself money inside of the console real quick. And now that I have the money, if I do /tags and I go here, it says you have enough money to purchase this tag. If I click on it, you'll see it says not owned right now. Once it's clicked, I now own it. It says I successfully bought it for 1,000. Now it says I owned it and I can equip it just like that. Works perfectly fine. The other thing that happens is if you have multiple tags, so now you see this one says it's equipped. If I go back, go to paid tags, this one, well, right now it says I don't own it, but if I did own it, it'll also show that I don't have this one equipped anymore. Since I currently have this one equipped, it'll automatically swap because we're setting the exact same data placeholder in both panels. So if you wanted one that would show which paid tag or free tag, you just have to change the data value from tag to tag 2 or something like that. But in this example, we're just using the same one. So it'll always change all of the placeholders and data to make sure that it shows which one you actually have equipped. So that is the basics of a tag menu. Hopefully this works for you guys and allows you to create some pretty cool tags for your server, allowing your players to have a little bit more customization. If you found this video helpful or you learned something from it, please leave a like. And if you guys want to see more on command panels or some more future Minecraft things, please consider subscribing. It helps us out a lot. I will leave all resources and everything in the description, as well as the command panels wiki and Discord in case you need help. I'm a moderator on the Discord. If you would like to join that and talk, you can ask any questions and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Our website will also be in the description, where you can go download some free resources for other panels I have created or plugins that I have created. Soon there will be a tag menu template / full panel up there that you can download and change and use for free on your server. Again, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.